Welcome to Hi-Fi English with me, Steve Ellis, and today we're going to look at English expert expressions. How good are you at using English expressions? Are you an expert? Well, you're going to find out in this quiz. Watch this very short video. It'll give you a clue to the first question. Don't blink or you'll miss it. By no means are English expressions easy. By no means are they easy. Right, this is an expert English expressions quiz. You're going to see 20 questions, and I promise you they're difficult. But don't despair, because the answers give you a full explanation. And I've been very kind because I've given you a clue for each one, but they're still tough. There are 20 questions, and you have 30 seconds for each question. If you get them all right, then you're an expert, and there's no need for you to be here. Do me a favor and like and subscribe and all that stuff, please. It does help me. Okay, let's get on with the quiz. Here's the first one, for which you had a clue. We still have a lot more work to do. We don't yet have a solution. This project is by finished. This is a fixed expression and it means definitely not. Of the pandemic, travel restrictions were very strict. This is a semi-fixed expression and it means the extreme. She's never to is leaving her for her best friend. A phrasal verb means accepted, reconciled with. I've always, my dad. Phrasal verb, respected, admired. How many bronchicists were there? There were 3. Fixed or semi-fixed expression? Means as far as I know. How embarrassing. That French girl doesn't seem to understand a word John is saying. He, into his claim to speak the language fluently. This is an idiom from a phrasal verb. It means cast doubt into something, onto something. Yes, I am having a good time, thanks. I'm glad you, me, coming. Phrasal verb, persuade someone to do something. Jane finds her job as a nurse rewarding. Jane finds her job as a nurse rewarding.
But
Her
she
dreams
hasn't
of being a doctor one
dreams
day.
of being a doctor one day.
A phrasal verb, meaning to stop
Phrasal
hoping
verb,
or expecting something. Send it to Mandy so she can see what she's on by being a stick in the mud and not coming with us. Phrasal verb, losing an opportunity. Stick in the mud means a bit boring. I always of checking my emails in the morning in case there are any important messages. Collocations, or an idiom, deliberately do something because it's important. Oh, stop such a about it. I'm not that late. Collocation or idiom, meaning to complain or become unnecessarily excited about something. The new law to protest against the country. Collocation, or an idiom, meaning caused something to happen. I agree with you but I have a few reservations. Fixed expression, partially or in some way. I've completely messed this up. I'm always making mistakes when I'm tired. A phrasal verb, to be likely to suffer from something or do something. I can't make the decision for you, mate. It's all to whether you love him enough to spend the rest of your life together. Phrasal verb, to be reduced to the main or essential point. The presentation changed my life for the better. It left on me. Collocation, to create a memory or effect that continues over time. It was an intense and sometimes heated discussion, but at the end they fixed expression to come to an agreement that everyone accepts. I didn't want to go as I don't usually like comedies, but I have to say it better than I expected. I actually laughed. Phrasal verb, to have a particular result or conclusion. I know you'd like to quit school and start earning money, son, but I promise you, you'll regret not getting qualifications. Idiom, meaning over a long period of time, a longer period of time. Her mum says they only met a few weeks ago. She's worried they're starting to talk about marriage. An idiom, doing something prematurely and in haste. How did you get on? Easy? I don't believe you for a minute. Okay, let's have a look at the answers with some explanation. We still have a lot more work to do. We don't yet have a solution. This project is by no means finished. As I said, it means definitely not. At the height of the pandemic, travel restrictions were very strict. She's never come to terms with his leaving her for her best friend. I've always looked up to my dad. How many Bronte sisters were there? To the best of knowledge, there were 3. As far as I know, there were 3. How embarrassing. That French girl doesn't seem to understand a word John is saying. It calls into question his claim to speak the language fluently. Yes, I'm having a good time, thanks. I'm glad you talked me into coming. Jane finds her job as a nurse rewarding, but she hasn't given up on her dreams of being a doctor one day. Never give up. Send it to Mandy so she can see what she's missing out on by being a stick in the mud and not coming with us. I always make a point of checking my emails in the morning in case there are any important messages. Make a point of. Oh, stop making such a fuss about it. I'm not that late. The new law gave rise to protests across the country. I agree with you to some extent, but I have a few reservations. You could also say to some degree. I've completely messed this up. I'm always prone to making mistakes when I'm tired. You can also be prone to an illness. You could be prone to flu, for instance. I can't make the decision for you, mate. It all boils down to whether you love him enough to spend the rest of your life together. That's what it comes down to in the end. His presentation changed my life for the better. It left a lasting impression on me. You could also say lingering expression. Not quite as strong, you could say it. It was an intense and sometimes heated discussion, but at the end they reached a consensus. I didn't want to go as I don't usually like comedies, but I have to say it turned out better than I expected. I actually laughed. I know you'd like to quit school and start earning money, son, but I promise you, in the long run, you'll regret not getting qualifications. Yes, you could use in the long term, but I think in the long run works better here. Her mum says they only met a few weeks ago. She's worried they're jumping the gun, starting to talk about marriage. They're being too hasty about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to learn more expressions, phrasal verbs, collocations, idioms and other lexical chunks, then why not come along to our Chatterbox Zoom workshops? They're great fun, you'll learn a lot, and you'll be able to talk to other speakers from around the world. I'll put the link in the description. Okay? Please remember to subscribe, like, ask me any questions. There's no reward for doing it, except you'll get my thanks. There you are. Okay? Hope to see you soon. Say bye for now. Take care.